This is Victor. Victor's dying. From a young age, he was always able to see his best friend, Upir, a demon. Now Upir has actually been tormenting him, making it so that he can't sleep, can't eat, and he's slowly gonna fade away, maybe even die. But don't worry, he's on a mission to find his new friend, Rasputin. You know Rasputin? The alleged alcoholic thief monk who has a sex addiction? Yeah, him. He has the ability to heal, and he's gonna heal him up real good. But now with all the bad news that he recently received from his sister, he has to go back to Warsaw and basically bury his father. Now that I got the whole little premise of the beginning of the game out of the way, hi, my name is John, I'm Daskys, and this is where I jump between old and new games to answer the burning question, is it worth it? Today on the cutting block, Thaumaturge. Thaumaturge is a game that's 5 games in one. It's Pokemon, it's Persona, it's a Telltale game. It's a little bit of everything. And I think that is also its flaw in some ways, where it doesn't really identify as one of those things. It identifies as an amalgamation of all. And a lot of the moments, it feels like the master of none and the jack of all trades, which is a good and bad thing, depending on the way you look at it. For me, I really enjoyed collecting all the different Salutators, having all the different abilities associated, figuring out who the person is that has the flaw and taking the flaw from them. A lot of different choices that you make inside the game make it so that you have to choose either your morale or like you want to become stronger. And I'll be honest with you, more power. I'm going to take it. I'm taking your flaw. I'm taking your Salutor, and you have no control over what's happening and what's up. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm going to run you through the story one more time. I know I did a whole little thing at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to do another one just to get you up to date, just in case you weren't paying attention or didn't understand what was happening. You play as Victor. Victor's got some issues, right? And not like, oh no, like it burns when he pees, which probably is an issue at this time. But his actual issue is that he has a little Salutor chasing him around, making him sick. Essentially, he was born a Thaumaturge, and his father's a Thaumaturge. His father was a Thaumaturge, and they're cursed. But the curse isn't all bad. The curse kind of gives them supernatural powers. So they're able to see memories on items as they pick them up, and you look at them, you're able to see who touched it, what they were feeling. It doesn't really say like John left the item here, but like it gives you a good incentive as to who it is because they're acting out on that actual emotion that was left on the item. Not only that, but you have the ability to push ideas into people's heads to get different outcomes and different things in the story. Kind of cool. Instead of having to fight some people, you might be able to convince them not to fight you or that they're scared of you. This combined with the ability to be able to collect the Salutors and then the Salutors opening up different dialogue trees made it so that I wanted to get every single one of them, and I couldn't stop until I got all the ones that were available to me in that time. But whatever, anyways, all I'm saying is that they're cursed and he is really sick and he needs help. Rasputin heals you, you end up finding out your dad's dead, you go back home, you run into your sister who has been running the business without you. You end up finding out that there are Salutors everywhere, affecting people and haunting them and making it so that crazy shit's happening in Warsaw. You end up finding the person who has the flaw, and this is like the rinse and repeat of the game. You find the person who has the flaw, you take their flaw from them, you get healed by Rasputin, you find another actual Salutor, you take the flaw, and rinse and repeat. And the storyline changes depending on which flaw and how much, and if you find like the optional ones, because there are optional Salutors and non-optional. This game is exactly what you would think it is. If you've watched a bit of gameplay right now with the fighting, it's an RPG. It's back and forth, you versus the NPCs, and essentially there's a little time or like a time synopsis or some sort of bar on the top telling you when the other person's moves are coming out versus your moves. Playing around that and being able to understand, like, can I interrupt them? Can I not interrupt them? Is it going to come out too fast? Or can I get my damage out before they can even hit me? Is the name of the game in this, right? Personally, I found that this game can be a little bit too easy at times. Maybe it was because I got all the Salutors and I had all the options, but at the same time, it felt like there was 3 Salutors that you get that just overpower most things, and there's no point of doing all the extras. They have this ability to set it up so that the character gets into a frightened state and they take more damage, they lose their move, so that's another thing to play into, or you just flat out go ahead and try to whack them for as much as you can to just take them out of the fight. It's cool and it's fun and I enjoyed it, but the thing is it got lackluster after the 10th hour. So after 10 hours of doing it, at one point or another, I was like, okay, well, even though I'm getting new Salutors, I'm still relying on the regular Salutors I was using and just either getting rid of their moves or doing enough damage before they can hit me. Something that really helped me like progress in the story and to continue was, you know, the actual dialogue in the story and the characters. I started getting attached to a lot of the characters, but I had a little bit of an issue with the main character, feeling like a lot of his voice acting was forced, or it was painful, right? So let me just play a little bit of that. You let me know what you think, and I'll be right back. I'll give you an idea as to what I think from it.
Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
So, I don't know how long I was looking for something that was quite legible or whatever. There was so much gameplay that I reviewed that I was trying to find something that did not sound terrible from Victor. And a lot of these indie game developers have the same issue, that their main character has just some of the worst lines or deliveries I've ever heard, and the guy doesn't sound bad. Like, I feel like if with giving good direction, he delivers on some lines, and others he just sounds like he's reading off a script or he's like burnt out in the booth. And for the most part, when you're playing a narrative driven game, you want to experience, you know, a slice of their life, or to like feel enticed, like, oh shit, this guy's going through something that like I want to know more about, or like I want to hear how he feels about it. A lot of the times this guy spoke, and every single time he did, it made me feel like I was taken out of the action, almost disconnected from everything. One character that did kind of save things for me and made it a lot easier to play was Rasputin. This character is probably like got the best voice actor out of the whole entire game. And the guy cares. Like, you could hear it in his voice. He really wants to sell it. He really wants to give you the whole story. And for as much as Victor pulls you out of it, Rasputin pulls you back in. And he delivers pretty much across the board. Like, I wasn't sitting there being like, okay, this dude's just reading lines and it's pissing me off. He does really well. A few other characters that I don't want to spoil do really well. But Victor is probably the worst voice actor in the whole entire game, and he's the person that talks the most, which is unfortunate. Like, I get it, you have so many dialogue trees and you have to go through all of them, but please, look, let me play out a little bit of like Rasputin so you can hear him, and you tell me who sounded better.
I also saw the white steppes in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
Not bad, no? Like, that was really good. Like, every single time he comes on stage is an absolute delight. And everything that guy delivers, chef's kiss. Kudos to you, my good sir, whoever you are. But honestly, if that is something that you can't get past, the main character being the most dialogue-driven character, having points where he misses, it could be a bit of an ick. But at the same time, you're also buying an indie game, so what are you expecting, right? You're not going to get that polish of, you know, God of War. You're going to be getting, you know, sometimes a little lackluster, sometimes, you know, a hidden gem. This is one of those moments where it comes down on the person and what you're looking for. And in this situation, this could be a big ick for you and might just drive you away from the game completely. And if you did, I understand 100%. But if you could get past that, there is some really, really, really good points in this game where it's interesting, intricate, and just unique to like what this genre is. So it's something to keep in mind. With that all being said, let's see if Thaumaturge is worth it. The game is currently retailing at a price of $44.99 Canadian, which is not the best considering the game has been out for almost a year now. I feel like this game should have dropped in price and it hasn't really budged much from when the initial release was. I think it's maybe dropped maybe $10 to $20. Essentially, I believe that this game should only be purchased on a special. I think that at the moment of where it stands and what is provided to us, $44, $50, whatever it is after tax, it's not worth it. Honestly, the game is fun and it's enjoyable and it's a good time, but after the 20th hour or whatever it is, it just becomes more of the same and it doesn't really knock you on your ass or show you something different that other games don't do. It just does everything that most other games do, just mediocrely. So it's like just a mediocre game. Anyways, that was Daskys. Is it worth it? And if you have any comments, if you don't agree with me, leave a comment below. I would read it and love to see what you guys think. Have a good one. All the best. Never change. Watch out for strangers and look both ways for crossing a street. Yeah. See ya.